Riding a 3-game win streak, BYU's improved lacrosse team is looking to knock off the mighty Oregon Ducks. The Ducks have floundered recently after starting the season with 11 straight wins. Yet still sitting atop the PCNLL, the Ducks will look to turn it back around against the streaking Cougars. See who is truly mighty now on the BYU Sports Network.
We welcome you once again as we bring you top-flight lacrosse action at the base of the Rocky Mountains. Tonight's game features the Brigham Young University Cougars, ranked number 6 in the land, versus the number 7 ranked University of Oregon Ducks. Hi, I'm Marty Westcott, and welcome once again to the campus of Brigham Young University. We're coming to you nationally on BYU TV, and we have a fantastic contest for you tonight. Joining me once again, as always, in the booth is the Hall of Famer Charlie Friedman. And Charlie, BYU comes into this contest ranked number 6, Oregon ranked number 7. It's an important game. What does it mean to both of these teams?
Well, there's a lot of jockeying right now for a position at the national tournament. Oregon's lost a few games in a row. It's time for them to step up and assert themselves. BYU trying to solidify the nice win streak that they're on right now.
And BYU is going to be looking to capitalize on their momentum, carrying them into this game, and they're going to need it. Against the Ducks, they've got some outstanding athletes led by junior attackman Julian Kaufman.
He's a player. Nobody in the league has really been able to contain him. 40 goals so far this far in the season. He's a big guy, but he moves really well and is very athletic. He has a very hard left-handed shot.
And that big athleticism is going to match up well against the BYU defense with their stick skills and their size. Joining us once again is the all-conference performer, Pete Stevenson. And Pete, BYU has a couple of players really stepping up for him this season so far. Sophomore midfielder Dan Cole, and in substitute, Glenn McKechnie in there as the senior goalkeeper.
Yeah, Dan Cole has a great attitude, and to go along with that, he's got a 100-mile-an-hour shot. He will face up, and he will score right off the face-off. He is that good. Now, in the goal, Glenn McKechnie is coming off his best performance of his career. 16 saves, no goals against. Really did an amazing job last Friday night against Colorado College, and really has filled in the Chucky Power's shoes really well this year.
And BYU is really going to need another performance like that from McKechnie, as this Oregon team can shoot the lights out. Joining us once again on the sideline is Brandon Despain. And Brandon, we're playing on a different field here tonight. How's that going to impact these two teams?
Well, this is the first time we've broadcast from the RB Turf Field. It's an artificial surface. This is where BYU holds all of their practices. The surface is quicker, and the ball takes truer bounces. So look for that to take effect in tonight's game. Guys?
Thanks, Brandon. We have a fantastic matchup. The weather is perfect for lacrosse. We've got two outstanding teams. It's going to be quite a battle. You're going to want to stick with us. We're going to be right back with the starting lineups right after this. And we welcome you back to the Richards Building Turf Field here at the campus of Brigham Young University. We are playing on a different field here tonight, and we're looking forward to an exciting contest. The Oregon Ducks visiting Provo for the first time. Charlie, let's take a look at the Oregon starters.
Well, at attack, Nelson, Kaufman, and Warren, this is a shooting group. These guys will just uncork a lot of shots today. Good group. Connors, Taysar, Clo, and Guevara. I understand Guevara's got a lot of skill at the long stick. Jolly, Tolzman, Vincent Jolly out of Boise, Idaho. Not a location you see a lot of lacrosse players coming out of, but the game is growing like crazy there. He's a big guy. Cordova in the goal, and I think we're looking at a pretty good team here. Coach Joe Kerwin, with a lot of experience coaching here at Oregon. A lot of lacrosse in his background. Looking forward to a great game.
Yeah, it should be a great game. Oregon's coming in really fired up. I think they are excited to be on TV, excited to be here in Provo. Never played BYU here in Provo before, so their first visit. Let's take a look at the BYU starters, Pete.
Marshall Kate leading the team in points this year. Really done a great job coming into a new system, working out Austin Shumway along with him. Dan Cole, like we mentioned earlier, Tyler Monteith and Jordan Tyre, all those guys are great midfielders. They're all sophomores and returning guys, and Murphy Smith, maybe the most talked about freshman ever. In the backfield, we have Curtis Salmon, Jordan Harris, and Taylor Red. All of these guys can play, and all of them are doing a great job.
There's a good look at Coach Lamb in his 12th season with the record of 157 and 51. Just been a perennial leader here at the national level and has done a really great job here with BYU. You mentioned Red in there, Pete, for the injured Cameron Archibald, who in their Florida trip tore an ACL, and so that's the second starter BYU's had go down with ACL injuries this year.
You know, it's been a lucky thing for BYU. Not that the torn ACLs were lucky, but it's been very lucky the amount of depth that they've had at the positions where they've had guys hurt. You know, they have two guys in the defensive back, you know, two defenders who have gone down with torn ACLs, and they're not really hurting. I mean, they shut out Colorado College for the first 3 quarters of the game last Friday night, and you know, we know Glenn can play in the goal. I mean, it's, you know, they're not really hurting where they've lost guys.
Great opportunity here for BYU to continue its win streak, Charlie, as you mentioned. They've come off of 3 straight wins. You know, again, good wins against Florida State, who they lost to in the championship last year, Colorado College. What do you look for today?
Well, this is going to be a battle. These guys faced each other the first time last year. Pete, you were on the field in that game. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that game?
Well, you know, it was a consolation game, and both teams were pretty upset to be out of the tournament. We'd gone in number 1, and you know, it was a disappointing loss. You know, we lost in overtime there.
Miller wins the faceoff for Oregon, loses the ball now. Monteith on it for BYU. Speedy midfielder Monteith gets it up to Red. I'm sorry, that's Harris, 31, and Harris. He's not afraid to shoot it in there. Marshall K trying to get it from Miller. Ball still loose, a little sloppy early on.
Keep him out.
Boston settling it down for BYU.
Good job for BYU to come down and gain the first possession. We'll see how well they're able to work their
some way for BYU, settling it down, trying to get their offense set up. And there's Dan Cole, who we talked about at the intro. Monteith. Austin over to Shenway.
Eric, they got all 3 out there.
Austin's a new addition to the attack unit here. Maybe the past 2-3 weeks came in and really has changed the way that they've played. They now have 3 guys who they feel confident about doing everything.
And there's Monteith with a shot. Trying to make a nice quick move to the right. He came over the top to the left.
Let's go, Ducks!
The Oregon defender was giving him that right-hand side. He wanted to take it. Still came over to the left.
Great defense by Miller there for Oregon.
Marshall K defended there by Jolly. K comes around and sneaks it by. Marshall K was momentum taking him away from the goal. Maybe the goalie didn't expect it, but snuck it right by Cordova there. Take a look at the replay here. Really didn't look like K was going to take the shot, Pete.
No, you know, this is what he brings to this team. He's a champion, he's a winner, and he knows how to put the ball in the goal, and he did a great job there finding the perfect place where that goalie wasn't going to be.
You know, he's working against a big attacker and proud defenseman. Jolly's 6'5", and you got to wonder about the foot speed difference between the two. Jolly is going to have to out-muscle him today, but K's a tough attackman to handle.
Murphy Smith trying to come up with the ground ball, unable to do so. Had it to stick twice and lost it.
Great hit by Zach Davis there. Ball stays in bounds. Wow, toeing the line there.
Oh, and Oregon's got a fast break underneath. There's
Watch
Kaufman, number 25, the big attackman.
Boy, they really should have taken advantage of that. They had numbers.
Well, he had it in his right hand. He's a predominantly left-hand player. You know, thought better of making a pass that he wasn't confident to make.
Nelson getting it up to number 29. That's Klo. Gets it over to Connors. Floats it over to Tsar.
That's a mistake you can't make against the BYU defense.
Warren unable to handle it cleanly. Gets it from on the ground ball. Curtis Salmon defending in there. There's Klo trying to go against Zach Davis. So Oregon was set up in a wheel offense. It's a circle. Nobody on the crease. Now they're trying to double stack up high.
A lot of motion in this offense. You can see that everybody's coming in and out. They're not really settled in their specific positions. You know, they're doing a great job of making the BYU defense work the entire time that they're on defense.
Klo trying to go to the left.
unable to get it. Working around to Kaufman. Kaufman going against BYU's #1 defender, Jordan Harris.
Great
And Harris
check.
with a beautiful check takes it away. Now he's got it on the clear. Goes back to Salmon, #4. It goes to Murphy Smith. That was probably a ill-advised pass there by Salmon.
Definitely no advice pass.
Coming up with his #10 Nelson for Oregon. Goes over to Kaufman. Gets it back to 20 Warren. Over to Tassar. Gets it up to Klo, 29. So Oregon keeping the same unit in there. Nelson going against Red. Looking to go behind the cage to the right. Finds
Great look.
Kaufman backside, and Kaufman unable to finish it.
Great save by Glenn there to keep that out of the cage.
Play on situation. There was a push against Oregon. Loose ball. It's going to go to BYU.
But they're able to clear it this time. Oregon's going to drop and not pressure the ball down low. We'll see how well BYU is able to handle this.
One thing we forgot to mention in the Open is it is alumni weekend here at BYU. So a lot of alumni in town and a couple of brothers of current players. And it's been a fun weekend for BYU. And there goes Monteith. He has got some nice wheels. Shumway unable to handle that one. Takes a nice check there by Vincent, #5. And BYU settling it down just a little bit.
Look for them to try and take the air out of the ball here while they're subbing in and out. They got their second midfield line in here. All these guys are they're really gonna try and take the air out of the ball here, not really push to the goal with their second middies, trying to and wear down the Oregon defense.
Austin now handling it for BYU up to Primish, #16. Looking to take the midfield, a short stick behind. Gets it up to #17, Evan Thomas. Big freshman midfielder.
Evan Thomas is huge.
And here goes Mark Primish going around the back. A nice pick there by Marshall Kay, doing everything for BYU. Gets up to Chris Warner, unable to handle it clean. He gets it over to Thomas. And Austin able to handle that one cleanly. A couple times where the ball's just popped out of the stick there for BYU. Jolly trying to pick up that ground ball, and Tolzman comes up with it for Oregon, and he runs out of bounds. Now we are playing on a different field here tonight. It's a multi-purpose field, and the lines are a little bit tough. A little bit tough to see.
It's a blue line. It looks like it's a little bit faded. Weren't able to repaint it right before the game today, and so it'll be interesting to see how that affects the game. Tipped ball there by Oregon.
Goes out of bounds. Chris Warner's going to take it for BYU. So BYU putting their midfielders down low on the wing. Warner's going to go against Trevor Tassar for Oregon, #14.
Let's go, Green!
Looking for that advantage with the short stick behind.
Looks like Drew Shumway's got a short stick on him. They were trying to shut him off there.
Warner gets it up to Shumway. Gets it up to Primish. You look at this the Oregon defenders, and it seems like almost every one of them has a couple inches on their BYU opposing player, but this BYU team is fast, and this AstroTurf's just going to accentuate that speed.
It's a little bit different. In the past, BYU's had a lot of big attackmen. Rex Hardy, Jordan Archibald. You know, these were guys who, were here for a long time, and we had big attackmen. Now we've gone the other way.
And there goes Shumway, going around to the right, looking for a shot. Goes wide. Looks like BYU will retain. Going to go to BYU on the shot.
Good run by freshman Evan Thomas to make sure he was the closest to the ball on that one.
Chris Warner now going to take it for BYU. Warner going against Tassar for Oregon. Midfielder. So
Good possession so far for BYU here.
Thomas losing it.
Had a couple of shots. And really kind of worn away their defense.
Tassar outrunning the pressure of BYU, just loses it on the cradle. Able to pick it up. Nelson now for Oregon, just throws it away. Marshall Kay trying to cover for BYU, unable to do so, does so. And what is the call?
Looks like a failure to advance on Oregon. Not sure that.
Seems like a strange call after.
He picked up the ball, yeah. Does seem a little bit strange.
There's Marshall Kay now controlling it for BYU. Gets it over to Jordan Tyre, number 27. DeMonte getting the first line of midfielders in there for BYU. BYU looking much sharper than in the first couple games that we did, where they just were not handling the ball well. Looking much better here in this game.
Absolutely.
Marshall Kay, except for that one.
Right as you say that, but you know, he comes up with the ball again. Marshall's a high-risk player. He's gonna push the ball. You know, he may make a few mistakes, but the things that he does well really outweigh the problems that he has.
There's Jordan Tyre, number 27. Good left-handed running shot from the midfield. Kay gets it up to Tyre. Unable to handle that one. He'll come up with that.
Tyre's from Oregon, and so a lot of his friends are on this team. Be interesting to see how well he's able to play against his friends.
Monteith now going in the middle with a nice right-handed shot. The ball spinning there on the bounce. BYU able to come up with it because of the spin. Josh Austin handling it. And there's Marshall Kay trying to go, and they're going to call, what are they going to call? There's a flag down, so they're going to call a push from behind, which means that's going to be a goal, is it not? Is it not?
Well, let's wait and see. The refs should get together here and decide for themselves whether he was pushed in or whether he went in under his own power.
Well, the flag went down, so you'd have to assume that they're calling a penalty here. Now, if it's a goal, depends on when he landed in the crease.
I haven't seen a signal to signify goal, so it looks like BYU's just going to go man up here. You know, the push must have come before he himself jumped into the crease.
So they call no goal. BYU's going to have a man-up situation here. 1 minute on the push. So just as you said, the referee said he was in the crease before the push.
Right, looked like a push happened before, and then he jumped in under his own power, I think is what they ended up deciding had happened there. This is man-up play, Dan Cole's specialty. He loves to get an opportunity to shoot.
Hey, Dan Cole with a nice shot, but Cordova comes right up with it.
He needs a little bit better placement on that shot. He's got all the speed to run it past the keeper. But just put it right in the middle of the cage.
Monty coming up with a nice little hit there against Vincent.
Against a guy 3 times his size.
Yeah, I think Vincent's got probably 6 inches on him.
Marshall
Kay,
they got numbers.
He wants to take it. The nice shot just goes wide to the left.
3-on-1 there. Maybe should have found a guy to pass that to.
Had a couple guys open there right at the goal line extended, but decided to take that one.
Looks like we're all even again.
BYU really controlling the offense here in this quarter. And the ball goes out of bounds, just as I say that, but you look at time of possession, BYU's really had the ball for most of this quarter.
They've done a nice job on rides. That's given them a lot of possession time here.
So the attackman here really riding hard. Josh Austin getting beat. And that's really what this ride depends on. Is the attackman riding hard. So Oregon has numbers here as Jordan Tyre didn't come back in the midfield. Warren unable to handle it cleanly for Oregon. Gets it up to Kaufman. Over to Tassar. Gets it up to Klo. Klo trying to go with the left hand. Gets it over to Nelson with cutters. Kaufman. And that's why he is a goal-scoring machine, Charlie.
Well, they lost track of him in the middle of the field. I think that's a cardinal rule. When you're scheming for Oregon, you got to have a man on Kaufman all the time.
You can see here he just gets it down. Just cutters.
Looks like Murphy Smith wasn't able to keep his stick-on-stick here. You know, he's going to score that 99.9% of the time.
And it was a nice goal. It was a nice finish.
He's a big target in there, and BYU's got to make sure that they've got him accounted for.
Boy, especially in the middle of the field. You cannot let him free. He'll burn you.
Dan Cole taking the face-off for BYU, and Miller for Oregon. BYU with the possession call. Marshall Kay comes out. Gets pushed down there by number 3, Toltzman.
Able to keep it in the box here.
Shumway now trying to settle it down as they get substitutions on for BYU. Cole now looking for Tyre coming on, 27. And Monteith also coming on for BYU. Kay
over to Austin. I think Josh's older brother Steve, former All-American, is in attendance here tonight for Alumni Weekend. And Shumway just lets that one go through his stick. Talking with Coach Lamb during the week, he's very high on Shumway. Feels like he's got a great amount of talent, potential, and is really coming along well. Take a look at the shots here, Charlie. BYU leading that.
You know, they are leading it, but it doesn't seem like it. They're holding on to the ball. Obviously, they're picking when to shoot. They're being very careful with it. But I'd like to see them run a little bit more of an attacking style on offense.
Oregon with a 2 out of 1 shooting percentage. That's pretty good. We're going to leave you here for just a second with Oregon and BYU tied 1 goal apiece with 4:44 left in the first. We'll be right back. Hey, and welcome back as we join this contest tied 1-1. I don't think we expected anything different. It's been very closely matched. BYU seeming to control the tempo here in the first quarter, but a 1-1 score. And we've got a great game going so far. Cordova now, number 8, the goalie, taking it up. Trying to get it upfield, gets it to Toltzman, number 3. And Murphy Smith right behind him, trying to check him. Gets a little check on there, bounce shot, goes over the cage. This AstroTurf's going to bounce a little bit differently than the grass, a little bit higher bounce, more true bounce. Nelson controlling now for Oregon. Going against number 36, Andrew Byrne, freshman defender.
Andrew's really been a surprise this year for the Cougs.
Great pass.
Nelson, oh, that was, sorry, that was Connors in the middle, just unable to handle it there for Oregon. Nelson trying to get it to Plow and just unable to handle it. We go back to Cordova. Cordova gets it up to Connors.
You know, this is the first time I've seen Oregon play. These guys are pretty good. I don't mind saying. There's a lot of homegrown talent that they've developed in Oregon here in Northern California. These guys are deep and they're pretty good.
Great shooting team. We had a chance to watch them last night against UVSC, and you know, there isn't a single guy on this team that can't shoot.
Nelson gets it up to Clow. Clow goes around with the left-hand dodge and able to get it anywhere, and that's going to be a withholding. It was Warner, number 20. Or Warren, I'm sorry. We're going to have a penalty.
Yep. Sounds like somebody mouthed off.
And we've got a penalty on Oregon. Looks like number 10, Nelson, must have said something to the ref, and he's going to have a 30-second conduct penalty.
That's not a smart thing to do. You're playing away. You're playing a very good lacrosse team. And you got to keep your cool.
And you're playing against a man-up unit that's very successful. They've done a very good job this year of scoring, you know, close to 40% of their man-up opportunities. You know, it'll be interesting to see how well they're able to do, you know, against Oregon here.
So now Monteith gets it back to Kay. They're going to get into their motion here. Josh Austin coming around to the right. Gets it up top to Cole. He's going to crank it right off the head of the Oregon player, and Austin backing it up.
Never want to get hit with the Dan Cole shot. Trust me.
Looks like number 12, Brunel, took that one right off the head.
In front of one of his shots.
Not even in your helmet. It's still going to hurt. It's going to hurt more than you realize.
Okay, over to Austin. And Cole's going to take another one. Gets it up and over the goal that time. The penalty is released. We're in an even situation. So BYU gets 2 shots off in that 30-second time. It seemed like to me, Pete, they took quite a while to get into their rotation. And I guess maybe they're just looking for that one shot.
It's probably a better play for a 1-minute penalty rather than a 30-second. You know, really you only get maybe 2 to 3 shots on a 30-second penalty anyway. So, not terrible, but
Marshall Kay trying to do it himself, unable to score on the left-handed shot, but right there to back it up is Josh Austin.
Good job on defense on him there. He wasn't able to get a shot that he really wanted.
Looks like Oregon switched defensemen on Marshall Kay. They pulled Jolly off and they put on Tolzman, which is probably a good move. Tolzman's probably a little bit quicker.
Monteith going to the left, taking the running left-hander. Cordova gets a stick on it. Dribbles by on the outside. And now Oregon's in the clear. Elterman, number 19, clearing it up. Defended there by Monteith, number 7, trying to force him out. Sarr now slowing it down for Oregon. Defended there by Dan Cole. Danko just going to continue to force him down. Nassar wants to come over the top at the right. Number 9 now, Shane controlling for Oregon. Gets it back to Warren. Over to Kaufman, number 25. Going against Jordan Harris, number 31 out of Littleton, Colorado.
Great stick.
Shane now for Oregon. Gets it up to number 26, Jewett. Over to 4, Parker. And Warren now controlling for Oregon. Good ball movement by the Ducks. And the freshman Burns still in there for BYU, doing a good job against Warren. Number 26, Jewett, unable to handle it. We got a loose ball push now against Zach Davis on BYU, number 2.
Just kind of got on his back there when he was already off balance. You know,
it happens.
got to call that one.
You know, Byrne is out of Oregon, number 36, long pole. 2 Oregon players getting a lot of time on the BYU side.
Yeah, he's a great player. He had a chance to come out this summer and play at our summer league, our summer league here, and really, really impressed pretty much everybody who was out here. They produce really great talent up in Oregon. We have 2 guys from Oregon. Both of them are guys who get a lot of playing time.
So now Jewett now controlling for Oregon, takes it down to the right side, gets it over to Shane, number 9. Shane going against Red, number 37 for BYU. Over to Kaufman, 25. That's Jewett. Going over the top to the right. And Zach Davis, good position. Jordan Harris and Kaufman is a great matchup, one-on-one.
That is a great matchup.
Harris just bodying him up.
Great turn.
And there's a nice feed and shot Aldrich there, number 28 for Oregon.
I'm really impressed with the BYU defensive middies. Boy, when we played here, Marty, it was tough to find defensive middies that would really dedicate to the defensive side of the game. But they play very disciplined, very, very disciplined. They move their feet really well. They use their hands well. They're not going for the home run check. They just play good, basic position defense.
And there was that inbound play that when they go inbounds, the opposite team, BYU shuts off everybody, double teams the ball, and was successful that time.
Oregon ran through the crease. Again, the blue lines are a little bit tough to spot. Ran right through it.
That's Parker going over the top. McKechnie, a nice save. You young players, you look.
What a run.
Middies want to come over the top. Parker fakes a little bit to the left and wants to come over the top with that right-hand shot. See turnovers there. Oregon 8, BYU 7. And with time running out of the first quarter, BYU player not exactly understanding the time, but with a 1-1 tie, we've had a very evenly contested game. We're going to take a break here for just a second with the tie score 1-1. We're going to be right back. And we welcome you back to the beginning of the second quarter here in our contest against the number 6 and 7th ranked teams here in the country. Take a look there at the Oregon goalie on the season there, Pete.
Yeah, he is a great goalie. I remember playing against him last year, had some great saves all game long. Is a great guy, and and really has been what the Oregon defense has needed.
That was a great face-off there by Miller for Oregon. Popped it right out of there.
Oregon's been solid on all their face-offs.
Now Kaufman settles it down, gets it back to Warren. Over to Nelson with new midfielders coming in for Oregon. There's Connors, number 11. Gets it over to Clough. Gets it back to Warren. Warren drops the ball. Tries to go against Red. Nelson now controlling for Oregon. And Nelson trying to get it over the goal. Doesn't get it quite over the goal and pops right back to him. Now Red coming up for BYU. Gets it over to Salmon. Brandon Spain was listening to that last quarter timeout. Brandon, what did you hear?
Yeah, during that last timeout, Coach Lamb talked to his guys about how they needed to loosen up and quit worrying about how they're playing on national television. Part of that's due to us. But he also stressed the fundamentals and talked about what they needed to work on in practice. And if they did those things, they would excel and succeed on the field. Guys?
Thanks, Brandon. And BYU just, one of those basic things, just threw it away right there and gave Oregon the ball back. So
it's tough after a real nice defensive sequence. BYU is real good in the 6-on-6, but where they've gotten burned is when they play sloppy, they give up easy shots, they give up unsettled situation goals. They've got to tighten it up on their clears.
And there's Chloe going against Zach Davis. Chloe going to the left. Davis with good defense, just pushing him to the outside, you young midfielders. All he was trying to do is keep him to the outside, reduce that angle on the shot. And Chloe trying to come over the top. Gets it to Cesar, number 14, going to the left against the long stick midfielder Murphy Smith. And Kaufman backing that one up. Jordan Harris going for the big check.
Great check.
Kaufman drags his stick, Harris able to get it. Cesar winging it out into the parking lot on that shot.
That's actually what we call the Wendy's shot. Goes right over there to Wendy's.
There's a Wendy's across the street here from the field, and the goal is to hit that sign over there, Pete?
That is correct. Dan Cole has hit it more times than anybody else I know.
Number 9 for Oregon, Shane's going to bring it in, as we had a horn for substitutions. Going against Salmon, number 4. Kaufman gets it up top. Goes to Chloe, number 29. Wants to take that right-handed shot, unable to get a good one off. Kaufman forces it in the middle. Cesar unable to come up with it. Connors settles it down now for Oregon.
Oregon's done a great job to the start of this second quarter, holding on to the ball and keeping it down here on the BYU end. Something they didn't really do real well in the first 15 minutes.
Shane now for Oregon, going against Salmon. Salmon poking it right out of there. Ball's up in the air. Let's see, BYU comes up with it. Salmon trying to get it back to his goalie, McKechnie, does so. Throws into the back of the net. Now you've got, let's see, we're going to have a loose ball push, it looks like, on green. So McKechnie unable to pick that one up in the crease, had to go out of the crease. Whenever the goalie goes out of the crease, the attacker can get big eyes.
Yeah, he just got creamed on this one. Get a look at this.
Throws it into the back of the net, so he's got to kind of scoop it up, pops out of there.
Watch the very end here. He's just going to get nailed while he's on the ground.
And Warner able to come up with it. Tries to run right by Kaufman and does so. So Warner now clearing it for BYU. Guarded there by Toltzman. And Warner gets it in the box for BYU, settles it down. And Shumway taking it up top. It's up to Primash, number 16, over to Thomas. Thomas gets it down to Austin. That sun is going to be setting here, so the teams on BYU's offensive end, the goalie for Oregon is going to start to have a tough time as that sun sets there.
And it's going to get worse and worse as this game goes on. It's going to set probably about middle of the fourth quarter, probably when it's going to be at its lowest point.
And there's Warner just settling it down for BYU. He wants to take Toltzman on the ISO. Does so, unable to get the shot off. Good slide there by number 5, Vincent. And
Nice
Shumway,
move. Great split.
nice face dodge.
Great. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Pick up your jockstrap after that one.
Man, I like Shumway. I like him. He is really an exciting player. He's real quick.
He's really coming into his own here at the end of the year. Had a tough time playing college ball those first couple of games. He's really getting it now. He's got it.
Yeah, you definitely see a little swagger in his game, and it was not there at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it's nice to see.
The nice bounce shot, left-handed bounce shot. And on the face-off, Monteith for BYU, and that's Miller there for Oregon. Still on the ground. Coming up with this number 13, Cullen for Oregon, goes back to Cordova.
Oregon has really dominated the face-offs.
Elterman for, and BYU's gonna get called in offsides here. So flags down, Oregon throws it out of bounds. And we're gonna have an offsides penalty on BYU.
BYU runs a couple of different rides, and so if what happened here was Josh Austin thought we were running a different one, thought they were running a different one than they were, and so just kind of a confusion. Not a big deal, only a 30-second penalty here.
Well, when you got shooters like Oregon does, it could be a big deal. You get that ball in Kaufman's stick on the left side.
They'll probably get off 4 or 5 shots just in these 30
I'd like
seconds.
to see it. I'd like to have seen BYU get more shots off in their 30-second sequence.
Tassar now for Oregon, coming around the top. Over to Nelson.
Great movement, great movement.
Nelson to Warren
Boy,
on the goal.
Absolutely gorgeous.
BYU's defense standing around, looking at it.
I think there's a question there. There's a question on whether or not that player went into the crease.
His own momentum led him in there. He wasn't pushed. There was no doubt.
No goal.
Oh, and they're waving it off.
They're waving it off. They're saying that he went into the crease in his own momentum.
We can see here, if the lines are good enough in this replay.
That's a good call. Nobody pushed him in. His own momentum.
No question.
Good
he knew
call.
it too. He knew it too.
Mike O'Malley, the experienced referee, goes and talks to the other refs to make sure that they know exactly what he saw.
That was a good call there by the referees.
You're right, Pete. I don't think they come better than Mike O'Malley from the referees.
You know, he had some knee problems a couple years ago, kind of kept him out of reffing for a little bit.
And McKechnie just kind of throws the Gilman. Cordova's down. And there's a flag down.
Looks like it's on the Cougs.
No, that's going to be on Oregon. BYU had possession. No?
No, it's on Marshall K. Looks like they're going to call push from behind
with
on
possession?
The goalie.
Oh, on the goalie. Gotcha.
Yeah. Got to protect those goalies. I can completely understand that.
Did we just get another penalty in the middle of the field?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's some sort of other penalty.
I thought there was a second flag going up.
They're calling a procedure.
So it looks like he had two 30-second penalties, so it's going to make it a minute. I think he threw his stick in frustration, and that is a penalty. You're not allowed to throw it.
So the referees are getting it straightened out. We've got a good crew here today. They're going to make sure they get the call right. They're not in any hurry.
Mike's going to come over here and make sure the bench knows exactly what's going on.
So they have consecutive 30-second penalties, so BYU's going to be man down for a minute.
Oregon didn't really need him even 30 seconds on that last one. We'll see how BYU is able to adjust to what Oregon did on that one.
That was an interesting defensive. They're playing a very interesting man-down defense here, pressuring out high. They're shutting off number 14, Tassar. Jordan Harris is just shutting him off up there at the top. So BYU is basically playing a 4-on-5.
Well, they must know something about Tassar. I would be shutting off Kaufman.
I think they're just trying to adjust, just trying to mess up what Oregon's trying to do on defense.
So here they go, they're in a box, and then they're just shutting off Tassar. You can see Zach Davis just shutting him off face to face. They go backside to Kaufman. He's gonna take the shot well wide.
Yeah, he's got to take a few more shots in warm-ups.
Those people looked a little scared over there.
Take a look at this one from Kaufman. You can see how wide this one goes.
Glenn was on it.
But again, they're shutting off number 14 Oregon. Like you said, they must know something on the rotation. And there's a beautiful save by McKechnie. Connors with a great shot, keeps it low. McKechnie gets down on it. Now McKechnie on the clear, gets it upfield. Oh, had his man read, unable to pick it up. Now Cordova going the other way for Oregon. And gets it up to Kaufman, number 25. And the penalty's been released, so we're in an even situation. So BYU with a great man down. A very strategic man down where they were really trying to confuse Oregon in their man-up rotation. Kaufman now going against Harris. Red is actually defending Kaufman now. Just probably in the rotation.
BYU's done a great job of limiting the amount of shots that Oregon is going to get. It's been a great thing to see out of this BYU defense.
Yeah, but what a tale of two quarters.
And Kaufman coming over the top. Wow. With another great save by McKechnie.
McKechnie's having himself a game.
Murphy Smith out there against Shane, number 9 for Oregon.
Look at him pushing him all the way out there.
Kaufman trying to come in and push him out.
A couple D sticks. I have no idea
coming
what's
out
going
of there.
on down there.
Jordan Harris coming out of it. Monteith unable to handle it.
Clears. Boy, BYU's
Harris tries to take it away from Connors with a left-hander.
It's stuff like that that's going to hurt BYU in this game. It's going to, Oregon has had the ball for the majority of the time.
It's because of their Oregon ride. The Oregon ride has been very, very effective. Now BYU's made some mistakes. They've dropped a few balls on the clears, but that's what's given Oregon possession here.
Flow number 29 now for Oregon.
Good dodger up top. Zach Davis just pushing him to the outside. He wants to come over the top. Zach Davis right there. Great midi defense there by Zach Davis.
I love this midi defensive line. They don't take a lot of risks. You don't see them checking very much, but you don't see them get beat.
Zach Davis, great player at attack. Started here for a couple of games last year at attack, and now he's a D midi. Goes to show what really can happen when you're a team player.
Harris almost going down there. There's another shot by Connors, well wide.
He must be right-handed. That was a left-handed shot. Missed that one by quite a bit.
Connors are going against Harris.
Boy, Connors is a load.
What a matchup.
Oh, Kaufman there with a nice roll. Oh, and there's another save by McKechnie. Tried to sneak it in there. That's a great matchup. One of the better matchups you're going to see with Jordan Harris going against Kaufman there.
Boy,
and there's
show me more of that.
Zach Davis. That's a great matchup as well. We're having some really good one-on-one matchups in this series.
I could watch that Jordan Harris Kaufman matchup all day long. I love it.
Looks like Kaufman's coming out of the game. Not sure exactly, what they're thinking here. Must need to give him a break from Jordan Harris.
Well, Oregon is playing at altitude here. Obviously, they're at sea level. We're at 4,500 feet. Sometimes that can take a toll. Connors going against Monteith. Connors going to the right. Monteith giving him that shot. He's running away from the goal, looking for the feed. Monteith now coming out of it. And he is
surrounded.
He's got to look to move the rock there. You draw four guys, there's a lot of open people.
Connors gets it over to Tsar, number 14. He's going to take the shot. Goes over.
Oregon loves to shoot. Oregon loves to shoot.
And we've got a dead ball situation, so BYU is going to take an opportunity to kind of regroup. We've got 6 minutes, 12 seconds left here in the second quarter. We've got a great contest. BYU leading it 2-1. We're going to be right back. Stay with us. Hey, and welcome back. We have got a beautiful afternoon here for lacrosse, and you can see we've got a big crowd watching this game. We've got a great contest going. BYU leading 2-1, but it has been very evenly matched. BYU seeming to control the ball in the first quarter. Oregon taking that role in the second quarter and really controlling the offensive tempo. We can take a look here at the shot versus save statistic, and Oregon really shooting out there. Jordan Harris. Oh! Jordan Harris was behind his man. Warren got past him. They called a hold. McKechnie made a nice little save there, but they're going to get Jordan Harris with a hold.
BYU's MVP right now is McKechnie. He's having a great game.
They call it a slash, so he's going to get 1 minute rather than the 30-second hold.
Got him right on the neck. I could see that call. Jordan just got beat by a faster guy.
Boy, this Oregon team really is on the rise. These guys can play lacrosse.
Absolutely.
So Oregon with another man-up situation. Shane behind, trying to sneak it. Goes to Nelson 10. Top to Connors, over to Tassar. There's Kaufman with the left-handed shot. McKechnie had a beat on that one. We had a great line on that one. That was a pretty shot and a pretty save.
That was a great save by.
And there's Warren dancing on the crease again. And Sam trying to pick that out of there. Kaufman comes up with it. Warren sitting at the goal line extended, unable to get a shot off. Gets it up to Kaufman, over to Tassar.
Boy, this is a dangerous man-up. They really run a well-executed man-up.
BYU back in their traditional man-down defense, not that shut-off defense. They were running Tassar with the left. That's certainly what they were looking for, and probably what BYU was trying to defend earlier when they were shutting him off.
BYU can shoot. There's no doubt about that.
Shane with a nice shot. McKechnie with a nice save on the bounce shot. There goes Zach Davis the other way for BYU. BYU has numbers.
Great look. Great look.
Oh, he Cordova with a beautiful save. Up top. Oregon comes up with it. Connors for Oregon now going the other way, but BYU had a nice fast break opportunity, and Cordova made a beautiful save. And we have a timeout for Oregon. So right as Oregon had an opportunity to take a shot, coach calls a timeout, wants to settle it down just a little bit. And again, that was a great little sequence of up and down, both teams getting an opportunity to take shots. Take a look here on the replay.
We'll give Zach Davis a lot of credit here. He could have shot, but the better idea was to pass to Shumway. He found Shumway or Marshall Kay. It was a great look.
Cordova makes a nice save. Marshall Kay sees Lillenquist, number 22, up at the top, tries to get it to him. And then Connors comes out of it for Oregon.
Good pickoff by Oregon there. Nice job by Connors. What a great save by Cordova. Great save. That's not one that Marshall doesn't make very often.
There's Coach Kerwin there talking to the Ducks and trying to get some of those shots on cage. Probably they're taking plenty of them. McKechnie's having a great game. BYU, I think, is probably playing the defensive set that they want, but Oregon just unable to convert.
Yeah, that timeout was a good break for BYU defense. They've been on defense for a long time. Gave the defense a chance to come over and get some water from trainer Tricia, and be ready to go out and play.
So BYU now ready to face whatever Oregon brings to the table. Number 22, Knopp is going to take it. Nope, gives it off to Kaufman. So Kaufman's going to take it for Oregon. Gets it up top to number 4, Parker.
It's like these teams switched jerseys from the first to the second quarter. Oregon is controlling all of the action in the second quarter of this game.
Parker, number 4, gets
Great
to Jewett, number
pass.
26, and McKechnie
Look
again.
at McKechnie, jeez.
Great position. That save was made mainly because Glenn McKechnie was in perfect position, right on the pipe, just where he should have been. Josh Austin now settling it down for BYU.
Glenn is, continuing his dominant performance that he had last week at Colorado College. And, it's nice to see a guy who came into this season not knowing whether he was going to get any playing time come out and be the deciding factor in a lot of these games.
What kind of a comfort is it for Coach Lamb to have a guy like McKechnie ready to come in when Powers goes down?
Well, it's been really great for him, and even backing up Glenn is 2 more great goalies, and it's been a great thing for Coach Lamb.
Marshall Kay now. BYU, I think, trying to just get some possession here. Just want to settle it down a little bit. Make Oregon play defense. Oregon's really pressuring out high. And here's Shumway going against number 42, Johnson. And Warner going against Summer for Oregon. Oregon getting a lot of different players in, showing that they're very deep. And Coach Lamb wanting to get some offense started here. BYU can make those passes and they can bounce, and with the turf, it makes a nice bounce. It just looks like they meant to do it, even though it was a short pass.
Good point, Marty. Don't let him get away with the fake bounce pass.
Warner going against Summer, gets it up to Kay at the top.
Boy, Kay draws a lot of guys.
And there's Josh Austin with a nice little split dodge to the right.
Possession's been a minute so far. I wouldn't be surprised to see BYU hang on to this almost to the end of the game.
Well, at least to the half beat.
Well, I'd like to see to the end of the game.
So Warner now controlling for BYU with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left in the quarter. Primush over to Warner. BYU keeping their midfielders behind. Here goes Warner. Gets a shot off. Primush with the follow-up. Tries to get it in the middle. Miller comes out of it. Sorry, Jolly, number 24 for Oregon. Bringing it up the field. Evan Thomas chasing him down.
A lot of weight running right there.
Kaufman getting it over to Nelson, number 10. Gets it to Warren. Sorry, not Warren. That's 22 Knopp. Gets it up to Nelson, number 10. Defended there by Red. Parker over to Jewett. Jewett taking it down to the
Great
right.
look.
With a nice
Look.
curl off the crease.
Both Oregon goals have been men who got free right in front of the cage. Players who got free, who made themselves, moved without the ball. Great work by Oregon.
You can see just pops open here off the crease, right there.
If you look on the backside, you'll be able to see that he got a pick set for him, which made Evan Thomas have to drop off him a little bit, and that's what ended up freeing him up.
Boy, but that crease area is an area where when you're playing defense, you have got to communicate. You just can't let anybody break free. Goals can happen so quickly in front of the cage.
And the face-off stat that you just saw, Oregon leading 5-0.
Have to be.
And they just win this one as well. So they're dominating on face-offs, and that's a critical part of the game because face-offs gives you possession.
Well, Oregon's also been very good at gobbling up ground balls in their defensive zone.
It's like a timeout, Oregon. Set up a chance to score and go ahead at halftime.
So with 1:15 left, Oregon's looking for another shot here. They've tied up the game. It's 2-2. Looking to poke another one in here to take the momentum into halftime and really see if they can turn the tables here on BYU. They've really controlled the second quarter. BYU's been fortunate that Oregon hasn't scored more with the number of shots that they've taken, but see if Oregon can poke one here in the last minute 15. Take a look at both teams there as they discuss their strategy. There's the shots on goal there, Charlie.
It's very interesting. What that tells me is that Oregon is really moving the ball well in their offensive end, and that Glenn McKechnie is having himself a whale of a game. But for Glenn McKechnie right now, Oregon be up by 2-3 goals, no question.
Take a look at some of the camera views that we've got out here today with our 6 different cameras and the operators out there.
Got a nice sunset tonight. It's it's a beautiful night here in Provo.
Couldn't resist the look. Couldn't resist the look there. Wants to get a little airtime. Say hello to the family.
It's understandable.
There's a good shot of Jordan Harris, the leader of that defense, with Cameron Archibald going down and doing a great job out there. So Oregon's going to look to put something on the board here with 1:13 left, and we'll see what kind of tricks they have up their sleeve. I'm sure Coach Kerwin has called a specific play. The odds-on bet is to Kaufman.
Kaufman has been pretty well shut out by Harris. He's done a very, very good job of making sure that
and they throw it away. So Kassar throws it away for Oregon. Now BYU's going to try and turn the tables on and see if they can get one here with 1:15 left. 1:04, I'm sorry. See if they can't put one up on the board right before halftime and get them a little momentum going into half.
That's a bit of a surprise. Oregon made some mistakes in the first quarter and seemed to really tighten it up in the second. That's a mistake they really need back.
Yeah, it just looked like they weren't moving towards the ball, all the things that you'd want them to do.
Yeah, BYU having a tough time clearing the ball. Gets it over to Tyre. Jordan Tyre now looking to get it into the box. And BYU getting some substitutes in. And Josh Austin now controlling behind. With 30 seconds left, BYU's got to look for a shot here. They can't wait too long. Now BYU's going with 2 on the crease.
Watch for the quick slide here. Dan Cole is wide open.
And Tyre with the left-handed shot right in the goalie's, right in his stick. Cordova was right there.
Cordova very active outside of the cage.
The ball's still loose with 10 seconds left. Oregon tries to flip it downfield, unable to get it there. 7 seconds left. Tough for BYU to get a shot off in 7 seconds.
Well, they ought to have a play in the playbook for this one, and I'll be interested to see what they do. They haven't been able to get off quick shots this entire half.
And the coaches are arguing about where the ball went out of bounds. It is significant in that if it's on the defensive end, the attackman can pressure him. And Monteith, with 6 seconds left, is trying to run it in and get a shot off. He just doesn't have time. Takes a shot. Oh!
Good idea.
And Monteith gets it to Shumway on the crease. And Cordova stuffs him. So hard to tell if that one would have counted, but it was very, very close.
For a 2-2 game, this game has been very, very exciting. If these goalies hadn't played as well in this first half, it would be, a traditional 5, 6, 7 goal game for each team, but both goalies playing tremendous ball right now.
Monteith just trying to dunk it in there and just throws it right at Cordova. Cordova didn't even have to move, and Monteith with it seemed like a long 7 seconds for him to get it down the field, but horn didn't blow. They gave him the opportunity.
Nice pass to Drew Shumway. Drew knew that he didn't have time to throw any fakes. He just had to get rid of it. And, it was great to see.
So we have a low-scoring game, but it is fantastic. I mean, this is exciting, and there is a lot of good play going on here. Really a control offensive game, a tale of two quarters. BYU controlling the first, Oregon controlling the second, and some fantastic goalie play. You're going to want to stick with us. We're going to be right back. We've got a great game in progress here. Tie game, 2-2.
No, it didn't count.
Hey, we welcome you back here to halftime. We've got Brandon Despain with head coach Joe Kerwin of the Oregon Ducks. Brandon.
Coach, 2-2 first half. What do you attest to the low score?
Oh, we're playing good defense. We're not doing a really good job of shooting right now. Goalie's playing well, got to give him credit, but we could do a lot better job with our shots.
What adjustments are you going to make in this second half?
I don't think we have to adjust too much. We're getting the shots we want. We're playing defense well. We're getting the ground balls. Just got to finish our shots.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Brandon, and Coach Kerwin. Just thinking about the shot selection needs to be a little bit better. That McKechnie's playing well, but he thinks that if they have better selection on their shots, they're going to score more, Pete.
Yeah, their shots are good. They're a good shooting team. I mean, you can see they're out shooting the Cougs. They're picking up more ground balls. The face-off numbers, glaring. They're clearing it better than BYU. I mean, they're doing everything better than BYU, but the score's, 2-2.
Yeah, so BYU fortunate. Oregon controlling that entire second quarter. BYU really controlled the first quarter, didn't get a lot of shots out of it, but I think the main stat there that sticks out to me is that face-off stat. The face-offs give you possession, and that's how Oregon retains so much possession there in the second quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what's screaming at me is BYU 9 of 17 on clears. They've got to improve that number. That is such an important number for possession, and it resulted in the second quarter with Oregon retaining the ball for most of the whole quarter.
When your defense works that hard to get the ball, to be able to transition, and then your offense can't clear the ball, they throw it away, you can't handle it at the midfield, it's really demoralizing to your defense when they work that hard and they can't get any possession on offense. So you young players understand that when you're clearing the ball, it's one of the most important elements of the game. You've got to get that ball back in the offensive zone and possess it so that your defense can have a time to rest and recoup, and you've got opportunities to score. Can't score from the defensive end, Pete.
No, you can't, and both teams have done a good job adjusting to what they've seen earlier. BYU held the ball in the first quarter. Oregon said we need to hold on to it more, and they did that in the second. Be interesting to see what adjustments these teams are going to do as they come out. Sounds like Oregon's not planning on doing any adjustments, and we'll see what happens here.
If I were Oregon, I wouldn't change a thing right now. The adjustments they made between the first and the second quarter really worked. They controlled the entire second quarter. BYU, I am interested to see what Coach Lamb's got up his sleeve, because I would expect something different. Maybe a change in offensive set, maybe a different clear, something to change the momentum of the game, which really turned Oregon's way at the change of the first and second quarter.
Well, we'll see if they can change it right off the face-off here. Monteith going for BYU, and Klo going for Oregon. Sorry, that was Miller for Oregon. And BYU's Murphy Smith, yes, coming up with it. BYU wins its first clear of the day. Face-off. Getting a little tongue-tied myself here. Tyler Monteith now taking it down the right side. And tries to bring it over the top. Good defense there by Elterman, number 19 for Oregon. Zach Davis putting it back to X. Gets it to Shumway. Over to Josh Austin. Gets it up top to Monteith. Over to Tyre, number 27. And Marshall K getting it back to X. BYU just moving the ball around. They get some substitutions in, getting their first line midfield. Dan Cole, Monteith, Tyre, all in there.
Is this a different offensive set, Pete?
Well, they didn't. They're not in an open set to start out. It looks like their plan is to go to the goal.
And Monteith taking that shot, just goes high. Cordova had a beat on that one.
If you remember from the first half, they would take maybe, a minute, to 2 minutes before they would take their first shot, and right off the bat, within, 30 seconds, they're shooting.
Austin now looking for cutters. Marshall K wasn't open, decided to hold on to it. Now Tyre's going to come over to Monteith. Monteith going to the right, gets it back up to Tyre at the top. Tyre's got a nice left-handed drive, and there he goes with the left-handed shot. Cordova just picks it up. And they get it up to Miller, number 27 on the clear.
Check,
drops
great
it.
check, great check.
Dan Cole with the face dodge, going against Toltzman, number 3. And Cole losing the ball, but it bounces right to Josh Austin, number 19. Austin
Nice move,
going against
nice
number
move.
24, Jolly. Takes a nice shot. Unable to convert. Now Elterman bringing it back the other way for Oregon.
BYU's ride is picking up.
They got a stick on the ball, and Tyre controlled it for BYU. So 2 consecutive times Oregon fails to clear the ball. And
Much more frantic pace for BYU here. Going to the goal a lot more often, not holding on to the ball as much. Interesting to see if they're able to keep this, keep this going for the next 2 quarters.
Well, it would be easier for the BYU offense to keep this going for the next 2 quarters than it will be for the Oregon defense to keep up with it.
And there's
They're putting a lot of pressure on the Oregon defense, and I like that.
Monty's with a big cut, but unable to take the dodge all the way around. Gets a loose ball push on Oregon, so we're going to retain possession, BYU.
Again, they've held it for the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this half, and it's good to see that they've decided what they need to work on.
Shumway takes it to the hoop, just beats his man with a nice left-handed shot, and beats Cordova off stick side.
I think we said earlier that Shumway is here and ready to stay. I mean, he is so good.
Well, ready to stay until he goes on a mission.
Yeah, well, they'll miss him for the next 2 years, but when he comes back, he'll be just as good. Next year is we have a couple of great attackmen coming back. Mark Davis will be coming back from his redshirt year, and Justin Heyer, the infamous Justin Heyer, will be coming back from his mission.
What made Justin Heyer such a special player?
He was so quick and so big, and he could do everything. He's a lot like Kaufman, actually, the Oregon attackman.
Well, and another California coming back will be Steve Nagel at the midfield. Big midfielder. Really contributed his freshman year. Here goes Austin going down to the left.
He was a practice all-star his first year, actually.
There goes Shumway, now controlling for BYU.
I think everyone wants to shoot at the Wendy sign.
That's where the ball has been down on our right side, your left, the whole time, and for the majority of this game.
BYU in the first quarter, now BYU in the third quarter, controlling. Shumway now going against Vincent, number 5, and he wants to take it. He wants to ISO.
Waves off Marshall,
and there's Warner up top. Doesn't look to shoot. So Shumway drew the double team, looked to dump it off. Good defense there by Oregon. Here goes Evan Thomas, number 17, big freshman midfielder. Marshall Kay now going against Jolly. There's a flag down for BYU. It's going to go against Jolly. And Kay just tries to get it up top there to Thomas. Unable to do so. Knew the flag was down. BYU's going to have a man-up opportunity.
BYU's been unsuccessful so far, 0 for 2. I would really look to see BYU score this time. They've seen what Oregon's going to do on man down, and they'll have an opportunity to do something.
BYU's got an opportunity now.
Well, so far, the approach has been to draw Oregon's defense down towards the cage and then pop it up to Cole for one of his rocket shots. Cole hasn't been able to find the cage on those shots. He's just been off.
And here he's got an opportunity. He's going to take it. Decides better. Tyre over to Kay. Oregon's moving 2 guys out there to challenge Cole on that shot.
Well, he's a great decoy, and I think they should take advantage of that. Somebody could be able to position themselves open near the cage while they're expecting.
And Tyre! Wow. They didn't think he was going to take it, Charlie, and he put it right by Cordova.
Tyre's got a great left-handed shot. It was a beautiful shot.
Tyre and Cordova went to high school together. They were high school teammates,
no kidding.
Good friends. They, I remember when we played them last year, Tyre, talked about how great of a guy Cordova was. So he really wanted to put one in today. I'm glad to see that he's able to do that.
And the placement of this shot is the key. He puts it off stick side. Okay, if you're going to shoot high, you got to go off stick side. The goalie has to move that stick across, Difficult move for the goalie. So with the speed of Tyer's shot, BYU goes up 4-2. Miller wins the draw again for Oregon, and they get the ground ball as well. So another face-off to Oregon.
Nice check by Murphy Smith.
Murphy Smith going against Elterman. Loose ball, we got a push. Play on situation that's going to go against BYU. Ball's going to go to Oregon. That was Jordan Harris on the push there.
You know, I got to tell you something I'm really enjoying here, and that is listening to the Spanish broadcasters, Spanish language broadcasters next to us call Cordova's name. It's not Cordova, it's Cordova.
And that's probably the way that it should be pronounced.
Probably.
It's going to be fun to watch these games in a different language.
And Klo going down to the left against Lillenquist, looks up to the top. There's Connors, number 11, trying to go over the top. Zach Davis has done a good job on those all day. Lillenquist going against Klo. Klo trying to go over the top. Good defense, a good slide there by Salmon as Connors came around off of the feed, was looking to shoot. It's going to stay with Oregon. Warren's going to take it out from behind.
And McKechnie is not in the cage. He's locking off on the first available attackman to pass to. I really don't like this play.
And they get the ball. So that double team pays off for BYU. The ball is loose. Zach Davis is going to get it. He's going to take it up. He's a one-man clearing machine. He's going to go to the middle here. If nobody picks him up, he'll take it to the hoop, and he's going to go at the left.
Great.
Oh, nice Shumway.
Beautiful pass.
By Shumway, right on the goal line, extended, puts it in, nearsighted, off stick side for Cordova. That's a great fast break play by BYU.
You are seeing the maturing of Zach Davis here. I love it. Zach Davis was a guy that loved to shoot on the fast break. He's found two great passes on his fast breaks. It's a maturing thing that he's doing here. It's fabulous.
They give him his left hand. He's able to see Drew Shumway sneak up that backside. Great play by BYU there.
And Monteith winning the faceoff for BYU. Oregon had a different faceoff man. It wasn't Miller, and BYU was able to get the draw this time.
This has been an all BYU quarter. They've outscored Oregon 3-0 so far, and you know, they've held the ball for about all but 10 seconds of this quarter. So, you know, it's going to be tough for Oregon to change the momentum here, but they need to do something.
You know, BYU just seemed to be sleepwalking through the second quarter to me. They didn't do anything that interesting. Now they're pressing the action. You're seeing the individual talents of the players. They're making good decisions. They're winning face-offs. Now they're becoming a really interesting team to watch.
Monteith going against Summer, loses the ball. And Marshall Kay coming up with that ground ball in traffic. That's a great ground ball by Marshall Kay. It's defended there. And two BYU players are trying to come up with it. And it's going to go to BYU. So they called that against number 35, Redelick, against Oregon. That probably could have gone either way. Both of them were jockeying for position there. Monteith looking to go with the left with a nice shot. Goes wide. Austin on the backup.
Frantic. That's the word that I'm using to describe the BYU offense this quarter. They have a purpose now that they didn't have in the beginning of this game.
Well, it changes the way you defend it. It puts the pressure on the Oregon defense. The Oregon defense, instead of watching a very predictable offense, having a good idea of where the ball is going to go, now is unsettled. They don't know where the ball is going to go, and BYU is making some interesting, creative decisions.
Here goes Tyre, gets it around him. Monteith didn't even look, knew he was there. Monteith
hits the post.
And Cole comes up.
Boy, they just want the ground balls more. Right now, they just want the ground balls more than they did in the second half, the second quarter.
Cole takes out Cullen on that check and allows Josh Austin to come in and get that ground ball. So BYU with some hustle stat right there.
What do you want to bet that Coach Lamb yelled at him all half?
That's a very likely. Oh! Tyler Monteith.
With not a lot of angle.
Left-handed, beat Cordova's stick side. That's a fantastic goal and individual effort there by Monteith.
That's one of those Clayne Murphy shots with zero angle.
No angle, puts it right by Cordova.
Although Clayne Murphy never shot with his left hand.
BYU has turned the tide.
They are doing everything right, and Oregon is not doing everything right. It is a great, great thing to see.
Well, Charlie, Clay Murphy didn't cradle either. So.
No, he didn't. We didn't have a pocket.
See, now there's Miller back on the faceoff for Oregon. He gets the draw, and Oregon comes up with the ground ball. Elchman coming up with it, number 19, gets it over to Nelson, number 10. Let's see if BYU can continue to put on the pressure defensively. Sam in there going against Nelson.
What often happens here when you have an opposing team go on a 4-0 run, on offense, you're going to just start shooting whenever you possibly can and not really work for the best shot. And as you can see there, not the best shot.
Not a good shot. No pace on it. Right into McKechnie's stick.
Sark trying to come over the top.
And BYU is able to clear.
Zach Davis with the
Zach
swim
Davis.
move.
The great pass.
And Josh Austin loses it. Shumway trying to pick it up for BYU. And it looks like number 24, Jolly, came up with it for Oregon. Over to Toltzman, number 3. Being pressured there by Lindquist, number 22. It's a good clear there by Oregon. Cesaro, number 14 now. Controlling it for Oregon, gets it, redirects it over to Nelson. Get it to Connors, number 11.
If you're Oregon, how are you going to get back?
That was a great fake. That was a fantastic fake in the save.
Goodness. What a move by McKechnie. What a great stick.
Connors faked the flip to Nelson. Nelson carries out the fake, takes a fake shot. Connors goes right in front, McKechnie stones him.
I thought I knew what was going on, but I had no clue. What a great save by Glenn McKechnie.
Amazing.
One-on-one, he's able to do what it takes to score. I mean, to stop Oregon.
Think about what McKechnie accomplished from the end of the first quarter until the run in the third quarter. He held BYU together. This game could have gotten out of hand with the great lacrosse that Oregon was playing in that second quarter. He's the one that's put them in this situation where they can go on a run.
And there's a failure to advance. Oh, they called an offsides on BYU. Wasn't a failure to advance because offsides. Going to go to Oregon. Got substitutions all over the place. There goes Nelson, defended there by Thomas. Oregon trying to take advantage of the chaos on the field. You got substitutions coming on. There was no horn. And now it's a settled situation. Connors is going to slow it down for Oregon.
And I want to see that fake play again. I want to see if I can see the magician's trick here.
There goes Connors over to left. Good defense there by Tyre. And there's Kaufman with the rocket left-handed shot.
What a cannon.
That is why he has so many goals on the year, right there.
Absolute cannon.
He's 20 yards out from the goal, and he put it right by McKechnie.
That's the shot that the defense wants to force. And that's the shot that McKechnie's going to save a lot of the time. But there was a lot of pace on that shot. Good placement.
You take a look here at the replay. Just off stick side, it was great placement. Hardest place for McKechnie to get.
Boy, Oregon needed that. They really needed that.
Yeah, it was all BYU, and that should be able to stop the bleeding and hopefully turn it the other way.
And where is the ball? It was stuck in the player's stick.
Check that guy's stick.
Yeah, let's check that stick.
Maybe illegal, just a bit.
Well, the fact that the ball can get stuck in the stick like that, you've got to wonder.
Yeah, looks like that's what they're going to do.
That's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And
Boy, that would be a real tough turn of events if this thing turns out illegal.
And I don't think that this is a BYU call. I believe that this is the refs. They are going to just check it on their own. They have that right to do that. They don't need to have a coach call for it to be checked. It'd be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, the referees, it looks like it's, as you watch the referees check it, it looks like it's okay.
So far. This is where it's probably going to be when they measure the top. Needs to be 6.5 inches across at least. And
well, it was really lodged in there.
I saw a flag out.
You'd think that it was stuck in the sidewall somewhere. That's a very loose sidewall. I don't know how it gets quite lodged in there like that.
Yeah, referees call it okay. So good, again, a good officiating crew says, look, something happened stranger with that stick. Let's take a look at it. Let's just make sure that it's not illegal. It's good to go, and we're back playing. So, good call all around. And Dan Cole waiting for the whistle. The referee teasing him a little bit. And there's Toltzman, number 3. And Cole just blows by him. Looking for the left. Off stick side. Nice goal there by Dan Cole.
Dan Cole has been quiet all game. They put their long stick midi on him, and he just proved why he was so great.
He blew by 2 Oregon defenders and then put it with the left hand off stick side of Cordova.
I think he blew by more than 2.
And they're going to check Dan Cole's stick right now, and if it's found illegal, the goal is no good. So we'll see what happens here.
So I don't know if that's a referee call doing that. I probably is, just to say, hey, look, you know, we checked an Oregon stick, let's check a BYU stick.
It's stuck in there. It's going to be a 3-minute non-releasable. The goal is going to be wiped out.
So they're measuring it. Looks like the net was okay as far as releasing, as long as the head and the length are okay.
I got a silent prayer going on right here.
You can take a look at Dan's stats over the course of the season: 19 goals, 3 assists. And what is the call?
Up. Here, no. Is it? Talk about tees.
They're writing down what number stick they checked, and it's found legal.
Pete, man, that's some good analysis.
Wow.
I thought we were going to get a flag there.
He was going to the pocket.
Oh, man, I thought we were getting a flag there. 3 minutes in this game, that's a big deal.
I thought for sure that was going to be illegal, the way the refs were handling that, the way they were looking at it, and the worried look on Dan Cole's face.
So Miller now again for Oregon, back in there, wins the draw. Murphy Smith unable to come up with it for BYU. Tassar now controlling for Oregon. So Oregon, again, domination on the faceoffs is giving them control and opportunities.
Well, they need that right now. They've really got to get some momentum going. They really were not able to build on that terrific goal by Kaufman and put together a run. They'd like to see one now.
Clow, number 29 for Oregon, trying to go over the top there. Tyer's really trying to force him to the other side.
It's real tough to go over the top on these BYU middies.
And there's a shot there by Connors, goes wide.
You can tell that Oregon's starting to get a little frustrated by the way that Glenn's playing. Look for them to, you know, I said this earlier, they're just going to start shooting, and that's going to be tough.
Now BYU's going to their lock-off play where they're locking off all the defenders. The goalie comes out, McKechnie, they double-team the ball. Oregon coaches are just screaming and yelling, saying, hurry up, hurry up. And that's a good play by Oregon. They go to McKechnie.
I'm telling you, this is a loony play.
And there's a save. That's a great save by McKechnie. And this play on, you know, this
Garbage.
play on situation just
I'm going to say it, garbage.
It makes it difficult for the players.
I can't stand that rule.
Looks like they just called a slash on Glenn McKechnie. So here comes Christian Kikumoto.
Is that right?
Also a solid goalie.
We haven't seen Christian Kikumoto for a couple of years now.
You know, I saw him play in practice the other day. He hasn't lost anything. He will, you know, he is a great player.
Was he not All-State out of Colorado?
Yeah, he was All-State.
Second team All-State behind Law, who went to Princeton, and who he beat in the state championship game. So
he was a state championship MVP for Cherry Creek High School.
Yep.
So, you know, Kikumoto's got a pedigree behind him that, and a resume.
Not to mention a brother who played here that was pretty good on defense.
And no offense to his brother Charles, but Chris is better.
And I'm sure he won't take offense to that.
Yeah, that wasn't said in an offensive way at all.
You know, I'm sure he's watching at home, and I'll get a call tonight about that. But Chris is a great player.
I stood up for you, Charles.
You guys are just getting me in more trouble.
That's right.
Yeah,
well, at least
you just can't make that mistake.
Chris made the right decision. Came to BYU first right out of high school. Didn't spend a year at
Smith.
CSU like Charles. So
Yes, and then another year at UVSC.
Murphy Smith just getting rid of it. Attackman coming up with it. Marshall Cato.
How about that?
That's Monteith now in an attack position. Comes up with it for BYU and throws it away. Coach Lamb puts the hands on the head and says, what are we doing? What are we doing?
There's about 8 seconds left on this penalty. BYU did a good job of killing it so far. I'd be surprised if Oregon's able to get it down the field and fast enough to get a goal on man up.
Good man down situation for BYU. Oregon didn't have any really good shots. Kikumoto seems like he's up to the task, so. Take a look at the turnovers there. BYU with 19, Oregon 17, and Oregon loses it again. Good ride there by Shumway. Shumway trying to take a swipe at the stick, unable to do so. Toltzman clears it.
And we're all leaving.
Warren there, defended by Red. And there's Kaufman, number 25. 2 of 3 Oregon goals by Kaufman here tonight.
Luring his defenseman all the way out. Boy, you're playing him pretty far out there.
Jordan Harris, very capable defenseman, and certainly I think welcomes that challenge.
Jordan's deceptively quick. Deceptively quick.
Yeah, well, it would require a lot of quickness to be able to hang with somebody way out in front of the restraining line.
There's Clough going against Monteith. Clough trying to go across the face. Good defense there by Monteith.
Good feet.
Nice little swim. And there's a shot that was well wide. And BYU comes up with it. They had 2 guys on that one. So shot selection, like Coach Kerwin was talking about at halftime, you know, poor for Oregon and not executing that shot very well at all.
I think you hit the right word, execution. Oregon cannot afford, when they're down 7-3, now late in the third, to fail to back up their shots. They got to back up their shots. They got to execute in order to get back in this game.
Mark Davis clearing it for BYU.
Zach Davis.
Zach Davis.
Mark would like to be in.
If Mark was in, he would have cleared it.
He would have.
Good. You had a good point. He had several clears today in the Alumni game.
Considering that the clears were only about 5 yards since we were playing on a short field, not too tough.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to bring that up to the national public.
Well, when we're older, you know, we have no pride, Pete.
Hey, we came real close to beating these guys in the Alumni game in the fall. Let's give ourselves a little credit there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We lost by 2 goals.
I don't know if the 3 of us had much to do with it, but maybe Jordan Peele and
I hit 2 of the best checks I've hit in a long time in that game.
Good take by Jordan Tyre. Great backup.
With a minute left here in the third, BYU's looking to add to their 7-goal total and their 4-goal lead. And Dan Cole going against number 13, Cullen.
Move your feet, Brock. Move your feet, Brock.
He's playing with him. You know, he wasn't really. He was just tiring him out, seeing what the defense was gonna give him.
And they're gonna go to a ISO package for Monteith. He's going down to the right. He's got it looks like he had a couple of opportunities to take the shot. Didn't do it. Followed up his own shot. BYU's got it with 39 seconds left.
That's because he shot it really close to the end line. I don't think he had any. He shot that past GLE.
And there's a nice feed to Marshall Kay in the middle. Unable to come up with it. Oh, that ball flies past. Cordova picks it out of the air. There's 29 seconds left. Oren's got to get it down the field.
Oh, danger, danger.
Wow.
Whoa, do you hate?
And Cordova beans it, throws it out of bounds. BYU's got 20 seconds left. They've got an opportunity to take a shot here.
Go right at the cage. They're going to go right at the cage. We're going to see what's going to happen here.
That was really some undisciplined play there by Oregon. Ball almost falls in the cage there, Cordova, and then throws it right out of bounds. So
I think I prefer the setup on this field to Southfield. Southfield's, of course, got the bleachers, and it's real fancy, but I like the crowd.
And
right
there's a
on
shot by Cole.
Sheesh.
10 seconds left. Let's see what they're able to do.
Monteith looking for Shumway. Shumway looking to shoot. Oh, and just unable to get it off with the left hand. So the third quarter ends. BYU leading 7-3. It's been a fantastic quarter for BYU, really controlling the offensive tempo and putting 4 goals on the board.
That was a big quarter for the Cougars. They really asserted themselves early and kept the pressure up the entire quarter. Coach Lamb, I think, deserves a lot of credit for that turnaround. There were some adjustments. They pushed on offense much, much harder. I liked what happened in that quarter. I happen to think that this Oregon team is going to be dangerous in the tournament. They're going to the tournament, and this isn't the kind of team that I would want to face in the early rounds.
We've got Brandon Despain on the sideline. He's got some of the Oregon women's lacrosse team members with him. Brandon, got some supporters there?
Yeah, we're here with the Oregon's women's lacrosse team. Go ahead, say your name.
I'm Andrea.
Andrea.
I'm Kelsey. Allison. Annika. Sarah.
Okay, these 2 are the captains. They're here on a trip to play some of the local teams. Go ahead, talk about the trip so far.
It's been an amazing experience. Our captains have led us to a full victory. It's been a lot of fun. I love lacrosse.
What do you think about Utah? How do you like the mountains?
Utah is beautiful. We're actually talking to the BYU girls club team today and telling them that 13 hours of driving is well worth it to see this. It's gorgeous.
Okay, what do you guys look for in this final fourth quarter as BYU and Oregon go at it?
Hopefully a few more goals, but definitely just for our Ducks to step it up and play our game. I want to see a great game between two highly ranked teams. I'm excited for it.
It's an awesome.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming over and supporting the Oregon Ducks. And guys, back to you.
I don't think Brandon's complaining about his position there, surrounded by the Oregon Ducks women's lacrosse team. Having some great comments here about Utah. And, you know, it resonates throughout every team that visits, the same comments. Beautiful facilities, beautiful area. And there's a nice face-off by Miller. Takes it downfield. Unable to get it to Warren. And Nelson now comes up with it for Oregon. So now Oregon pressing the issue here on the offensive side. It's been the same side of the field that's really produced some success for both teams so far in this game.
It's like this field is downhill to the west side. I don't understand it. All of the action has happened on the west side.
And Kaufman there, defended by Harris. Kaufman looking to force something. Harris playing very well. And there's McKechnie with a nice save, and Kaufman's in the crease. Beautiful save, nice play there by Harris. Good defensive set for BYU. BYU now looking to move it up. There's Zach Davis, a nice little fake. Zach Davis with a patented hang the stick out there. He likes to run with that stick hanging straight out in front. There's Josh Austin looking to go against Jolly a little bit. It's fun to watch those guys that have about a foot height difference against the attackmen and see how they can work.
Well, with that height difference, you can really exploit going over the top. I'd like to see Jolly do that. He's got such an angle to attack with an over the head check, or an Indian head check, as I like to call it.
Tolsman trying to go after Shumway, and Shumway dropping the ball, gets it back. See if BYU continues to force the issue like they did here in the third quarter. And there's Tyre. They're letting him go to the left. That's the wrong move. He's got a great left hand. Comes back over to Tyre. Look at Cole. Cole just likes to sit there and shoot it. And there's a nice shot. Backed up there by Marshall Kay. Marshall's been rather quiet here in this game, but
BYU has seen that they are beating their men lots better from the midfield.
There's an example of that, Pete. Monteith on the run. You young players, you watch how he made that shot in full stride on the run. He didn't have to stop and crank that shot up. He ran full speed, takes a shot on the run. Take a look at this.
That really is a tough shot to learn when you're just learning how to play the game, how to plant your foot correctly, get your weight proper, so that you can get some pace on that shot. It was really well executed by Monteith.
That's the type of shot that Coach Lamb works a lot on, you know, in his summer camps. When you go to his summer camps, he works a lot on with the team, and so, you know, it's an important one to learn.
Monteith wins that face-off, going against Miller. Miller's been great on the face-off for Oregon, but Monteith wins that one. Austin with the little head fake gets it over to Shumway. Looking to force the issue. Cordova takes that one out of the air.
Nice heads
Marshall
up play
Kay
by
was
Cordova.
coming across. Marshall Kay is going to get a penalty here.
No question about that.
And Oregon now trying to get this opportunity with the flag down to take a shot. Going against Harris. Ball's down, goes back to BYU, but play will stop with the flag down.
And a very dangerous Oregon man-up unit will come on the field.
Yeah, bad decision by Marshall there, just trying to get his licks in on the goalie while he could, and made a mistake, and you know, hit the goalie a couple too many times, right on the arms and on the back.
You know, Marshall learned to play the game in New York, and he brought a little bit of it with him there. A lot of attitude back there. You know, you grow up playing a tough, physical brand of lacrosse, and Marshall has certainly got that.
Now, certainly if Oregon's going to look to get back into this game with 12 minutes left, this man-up opportunity is something they've got to take advantage of. They get it up top to Kaufman. There's that left-handed shot. He's got a great left-handed shot.
Yeah, but that is too far out. I know he scored from there earlier, but he's 16, 17 yards out.
And Warren trying to stuff it in McKechnie. Again, perfect position on the pipe.
There is no question in my mind who the MVP of this game is. It is Glenn McKechnie.
And there's Zach Davis with a nice move on Warren.
The one-man clear.
Going against Shane. Zach Davis now he's going against Kaufman. Against Shane. And Zach Davis just beats the entire Oregon team down the field.
Yeah, that's 6 guys that he's beaten here. You know, there you go.
Zach
beat
Davis.
6 guys on that clear.
You can hear the teams cheering.
And there's Shumway, he's gonna go around. Nice slide there by Vincent, number 5 for Oregon. Shumway looking to come around the crease on that one.
Smart move by him, they're man down. You know, they don't have their offensive personnel on the field.
With 11:20 here left, look for BYU to maybe work a little time off the clock, settle it down just a little bit.
That's a real tough turn of events for Oregon. They needed a goal in that man-up situation where they're so effective. BYU ends up on the offensive side, in control, relaxed. They're just going to eat up clock.
There's Evan Thomas, number 17 for BYU, and he's going to get a penalty.
And that's brutal for Oregon.
Bounce shot, Evan. Oh, and there's the recovery by Shumway! Look at that! Evan Thomas with the big shot, bounces high, and with that continuation on the flag, Shumway picks it up.
Did they call the goal?
Goal is good.
They
with
called
the
the
new
goal.
rules, it doesn't matter what happens until Oregon gains possession, you keep playing. Smart play by Shumway. I believe that's 3 for him on the day, and he's earned every single one of them.
He's so quick. He just has fast hands.
On that penalty, the Oregon player came in with the hands, and what happens inevitably when you come in with the hands, you slide right up the chest into the helmet. That's what happened against Thomas.
What a difference between this BYU team and the team we saw against Arizona. I think it's really an amazing coaching job by Coach Lamb. When a lot of people started to write this BYU team off, I was concerned that BYU would make the tournament. But they're playing really good lacrosse right now and are going to go into the tournament a real scary team.
And they're beating top teams, and there's a nice hit there by Monteith against Clough. And we'll see if this wakes up some people here in this game. Kaufman, and we've got an offsides call against who? Against Oregon. We've got Brandon on the sideline. Brandon, what's up?
Well, as you can tell, there's a lot of fans here tonight. 1,250 was the attendance that was given to us. There's no bleachers, and the fans are right on the sidelines. You can hear them cheering right now. Guys, it's been a difference.
This game is getting away from Oregon. That's Tyre with the left-handed underhand shot, goes low. And this game is getting away from Oregon quick with 10 minutes left. BYU now leads 10-3.
BYU was actually man up on that one, and so I don't think Oregon knew exactly what they wanted to do.
They had that continuation with the flag down where they were man up. And with the chaos and what was going on in the field, Tyre took advantage of it. Now BYU's up by 7 with 10 minutes left.
I like this fan arrangement a lot more. It's a much more intimate game. It's tough to play with these guys sitting right on you.
Yeah, it makes it fun to play for the players. The crowd's getting loud. 1,250. You know, that's a good crowd here. Oregon's got a good contingent, got the women's lacrosse team and some parents and fans that have come to support them. And it's a fantastic night. It was, what, 65, 68 degrees today. Perfect spring day. We haven't had many of those here in Utah this spring. So it's good to get out here and play some lacrosse and watch a great game. Which, you know, even though it was low scoring here in the first half, was still an exciting game. And in the second half, BYU's just exploded.
Good picture of my brother right there eating some Wendy's. Good job, Mark. He's taking the stats today. Him and his fiance, congratulations.
There's a good shot of the Tanner building here at BYU. The mountains we are right at the base of the mountains. You got Squaws Peak up there. It's a beautiful setting.
Well, the mountains just had 1.5 to 2 feet of snow this week.
Yeah.
Not a better time of the year to ski than right now.
Ski resorts still have 160 inches at the base, so.
Alta has had almost 600 inches of snow this year.
If you're looking to come out, there's still time to come out and ski. Utah Tourism Board should pay me a little promo. So Oregon now looking to get back into the scoring column. Zach Davis going against Tassar. Tries to force it in there.
The BYU defense is dominating this second half.
No question.
And a lot of it is because of their offense. They've held it, and so when the defense has had a chance, they've taken the ball away. Glenn McKechnie has stopped a lot of goals. It's been great to see.
I'll tell you something else that's happened in this game. The sun has been a non-factor.
It could have been a huge factor as it was setting. The clouds kind of rolled in and covered it up a little bit.
2.
Zach Davis going against 3 Oregon attackmen and gets the flag. So BYU will take that as a successful clear. And it looks like to increase their clear percentage, they've just gone to the Zach Davis clear.
Well, this is a real good game for Zach Davis. He looks great today.
The Zach Davis clear actually is patented.
They have a patent on that.
Yeah,
they
actually
do.
patented. No other team can use it.
Well, I like that he's added a new element to it, that instead of shooting at the end, he's looking for the assist. That's going to make it even more effective.
And with 9:37, Kikumoto is coming into the game. It looks like McKechnie has done his job today, holding the high-powered Oregon offense to 3 goals. And it looks like Coach Lamb's going to reward him with an early night and give Kikumoto a little time.
Again, not much of a drop-off here. You know, I really don't think that Kikumoto is a drop-off from Glenn McKechnie.
Well, that's a good thing, because with 10 minutes, 9.5 minutes left to go in this game, I think it's a little early to mail it in.
And there's Cole with the shot. Takes a big check from Toltzman.
Watch out.
BYU coming up with a loose ball. Shumway.
Keep your head up. Somebody's open.
Shumway with a nice look to Tyre. Oh, off the stick of Cordova.
Tyre's got something to prove this game.
Hat trick. That's a hat trick for Tyre. He hasn't had a hat trick this whole year. And, he's really decided he's going to, score on his friend.
Well, and what he did is just blew it by him because it goes right off his stick. Stick turns in his hand.
Looked like it actually may have gone off of the inside sidewall.
Yeah, just off of the stick. There's enough power on that shot to turn the stick in his hand. And Tyre has had a great game. Shumway has had a great game. He really is the one that anchored that play because he got the ground ball in the middle. And there's Murphy Smith really going after Miller.
Smith's checks here. So good. Look at these
There's
checks.
a nice check.
Anybody who hasn't seen Murphy Smith use a treat to watch.
Oh, and unable to get that one up to Tyre. And here comes Marshall Kay with the one-handed grab.
Good ground ball by the Oregon.
Oh, and Oregon puts it in the goal.
And the wheels are coming.
Wow, Vincent tries to roll it back to the goalie and just unlucky puts it in.
And the wheels are coming off. It's tough. It's tough. This is a good team. I like this Oregon team, but it's coming unravel a little bit. They are going to be dangerous in the tournament. I would not want to see them on my side of the bracket.
Yeah, but what you have now is you have all Oregon heads. They're all watching the grass.
Yeah.
Okay, they're all looking down, and BYU's up. They're excited. And that has really been, BYU has really taken it to them this last.
Well, you know what I think did it is putting that pressure offense in at the beginning of the third quarter. I think that made the difference, and Coach Lamb made a great adjustment at halftime.
And there was a great effort by Monteith on that face-off to get the ball and get it upfield.
Yep.
They're going to call another penalty on Kay.
Kay's got to calm down. You don't want to spend too much time in the penalty box, and that did hurt them early on in the season. He's got to work on his little anger management here. Play a little more under control. I'd like to see him calm down a little bit.
He's been a leader out there, really the quarterback of the offense, except not much of a factor today. Maybe he's a little frustrated. Hasn't been a big
Tough
factor.
to be frustrated in a 12-3 game.
I think it's mostly a coaching change. BYU has said we can beat their middies, and they did. If you look, most of the scoring in the second half has been the middies dodging up top and, finishing right away. The slide hasn't come on time or whatever it is, and they've been able to do that.
Tesser trying to take that shot. Didn't get through the defenders. And that's off an Oregon stick. And Salmon now trying to pick it up for BYU. Gets checked there by Tesser, number 14. There's Kaufman, 25.
Let him settle in. I want to see Jordan Harris and Kaufman battle a little bit more.
Tesser gets it up to Connors, taking that shot. It's a nice shot.
17 yards out, though. this is what BYU has made Oregon turn into. You know, they got 2 of their first goals right on the crease. You can see they're just shooting from wherever they get a chance.
And Connors, Kaufman, that was a 20-yard shot, no screen. Kikimoto had a beat on that all the way.
And Pete, that is a great point because Oregon can hit the pass. They can put together a string of 4 or 5 passes and get right onto the crease. For some reason, they haven't been able to do it since the beginning of the game.
You know, I think that has been the BYU defense. The ones that they got were just a couple of mistakes, but you know, BYU defense has done a good job playing the way they play.
Chloe with the shot. Zach Davis picks it out of the air, kicks it upfield, and here he goes.
What a great game for Zach Davis. Fantastic game for Zach Davis.
Sees Marshall K.
Great look.
He saw him the whole way.
Oh, my goodness.
To Josh Austin. There's a nice save by Cordova, but a nice fast break.
Great play. Great play by Cordova.
A nice fast break there by BYU. And Murphy Smith.
Brutal.
Takes away his stick and his heart and probably his girlfriend.
Tesser just unable to clear it. And there goes Marshall K over to Austin, over to Shumway. Yes! BYU moving the ball like they have not moved it all year.
It's beautiful. They really are gelling. I don't know what got them to this point from watching Arizona. That was an extraordinarily frustrating game to watch. But BYU has just put it together. It's amazing.
K to Austin, to Shumway. You know, the goalie's got to move across the face of the goal twice.
That's the key. Got to get the goalie moving. Has a tougher time setting up. You know, Charlie, you mentioned you're not sure what happened, and I you know, talking to the BYU coaching staff and trying to find out how they've been able to change this momentum that they've had. He talks of, you know, Jason talked about how rather than just go to the goal all the time, is they're now relying on people to make changes and I forget what I'm talking about.
There's a nice shot.
See, that's what Oregon needs, and they're most effective when they're putting the ball into right in front of the cage when they're passing it in tight.
I apologize to all those fans of me out there, specifically Todd Anderson, who absolutely loves me.
I think that was what they call a flame out. And take a look at the replay. Parker with a nice shot, stick side on Kikimoto, but maybe too little too late for Oregon with 6 minutes left. We'll see. BYU can't mail it in here with 6 minutes left.
Oregon is a great shooting team that there's no way they're out of this game. You know, their heads may be out of it, but look at this. They've got another fast break. You know, they want to give it to Kaufman.
Watch out.
The Kikimoto comes up big. Warren unable to put that one home.
No,
Kaufman takes a shot.
Was an illegal hit.
That was Jarrett Downland, Draper, Utah.
Unless they're saying he led with his head.
Not sure what the call is going to be here. It looks like it's going to be an illegal body check. I'm going to call it non-releasable, actually.
They must have, led with his head. That's what the referee's
non-releasable. He is in no matter how many times they score.
Now, Charlie, you talk about the coming out party for Drew Shumway. Check out his numbers tonight.
6 goals. Amazing.
Although it looks like he needs to pass more. Honestly, Drew, work on that.
You just see he's got swagger on. His confidence is in full. He's a great player. He's somebody to watch.
Nice man down defense there by Taylor Red. Shane was wide open right at goal line extended. The nice slide there by Red. Now Murphy Smith going the other way.
Drops the ball on purpose.
Puts it up to Red, up to Zach Davis.
And pretty much it's cleared.
Let's see how many people he tries to dodge.
Very smart, very smart. Just sees it, he's gonna run into 3 guys, takes it back.
Flag down, they're gonna call a slash on that.
Zach Davis is gonna take it to the hoop.
Call his number.
Nice job by Zach Davis, and the ball is still live. Oregon maybe getting a little chippy out there. Ball's down, it's gonna go back to BYU with a slash.
BYU still man down for 13 seconds. So they're gonna start 5-on-5 in 13 seconds. It will be BYU's 6th man will come on the field.
They're calling the penalty on Cullen, number 13.
Zach Davis a little bit upset he wasn't able to get his goal there, but he's had such a tremendous game. He should, should be able to keep his head high.
He shot on the right opportunity. He got right to the cage.
Yep. Well, again, it's been a great weekend here for BYU. The alumni in town. Some of the great alumni. Greg Freihofner in town, legendary.
My former coach, Tom Norris, in town from
Norris.
Washington. It's nice to have him here.
Mike Nelson, probably one of the best goalies ever to play in this league nationally. In town.
He played that way today, too, though.
Fantastic. Our defense wasn't helping him out at all. He's still making saves.
You played defense today, Marty?
A little bit, just a little bit. So BYU now getting in their man up.
I would be surprised if BYU shoots more than once in this entire man up. They really want to just take the time away, and that wasn't what they wanted to do. But they wanted to, they want to take the time off the clock rather than score some more goals.
And Oregon loses it out of bounds. Vincent loses it right out of bounds.
This is really a surprising score. I thought maybe BYU would win this game by a couple of goals. It would not have surprised me if Oregon came in here and won. But I don't think anybody expected a blowout here.
Well, I think we're looking at two teams on opposite ends of where they want to be. Oregon this will be the fourth loss in a row for them. BYU's on a winning streak here. I think that has a lot to do with it, and that's why Oregon maybe doesn't have the confidence that they wanted to.
Tassar just tried to, when you talk about Bulldogs, that was the essence of Bulldogs. Puts his head down, tries to run over Tyre, and loses the ball.
Yeah, but he didn't need to do that. He could have just pulled it out of reset and run an offensive set.
So BYU needs to settle it down here. They keep pushing it.
So this is an important time of the game. You just don't want to get anybody to get hurt. Oregon's probably upset, frustrated. You want to play safe here.
And we'll see if Coach Lamb puts some of these other players in here. We've got a timeout here. We're going to take a little bit of a break. BYU leads this one, 13-4. We're going to be right back. Stay with us.
We're not back.
Hey, welcome back. We've got a score of 13-4. BYU leads this one in really what's become a bit of a blowout. And there's Chris Warner, gets it over to Marshall Kay, tries to go low. Great position there by Cordova. And Cordova's frustrated, he's just gonna take it up. And they call a penalty on Mark Primush. BYU coaching staff just not happy with that. And they're gonna call a 1-minute slash, number 16, Mark Primush.
At some point you gotta wonder, are you gonna play Murphy Smith at long stick where he's fabulous, or are you gonna put him at close? He's the kind of guy that should be on the field all the time.
Yeah.
He's so good at long stick, it's his natural position. But he'd be devastating at close defense also.
Well, BYU has certainly got the depth at defense that it needs, and they've got some defenders coming back off missions and new freshmen coming in, so they're going to be looking to continue to be strong at close D.
A couple of second liners out there on defense, and we got number 36 Byrne. Other than that, looks like everybody's.
I'm really amazed to get this kind of defensive performance from BYU without Cameron Archibald, who is a special player and a great guy, an amazing team leader. And to see them put together a unit that doesn't seem to have missed a beat without that guy.
Well, and the goalie. You start the season with Chucky Powers and Cameron Archibald both out. Two leaders, and yeah, like you said, Charlie, they have not missed a beat. There's a shot by Connors, bounces off Kaufman.
Ouch.
And Shumway, offsides. Loose ball.
Again, you're just seeing them shoot as often as they can and not necessarily the greatest shots.
Nelson now.
That's what a good defense does to you. It forces you into bad shots, forces you into shots that the keeper can save.
I mean, that one he was behind the goal.
He's behind the goal. Byrne picks it out of his stick.
Still a shot, still a shot.
They were calling that off of a shot, so it stays with Oregon because the Oregon player touched it last, but they're calling a continuation off the shot.
Probably a good call there.
So
BYU's a little upset about that, but probably a good call.
We're now in an even situation. Anthony Archibald coming in.
Murphy just swinging his stick and doing it well.
Taylor Red trying to control that ball, does so. And they're going to get a interference call on Smith where he was contacting the player after Red picked up the ball. That's the importance of that ball release call that all your coaches tell you to do.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on that today.
Warren trying to go get Zach Davis, sees it. They're going to call a cross check on that one. Sees a short stick, Zach Davis tries to go against him. Zach Davis is as good as any long stick defender, and they catch him with the cross check.
Looks like they're going to call a cross check hold or cross check push, so it's only going to be a 30-second penalty rather than a minute cross check.
Do you think we'll see Zach Davis at defensive midi again next year?
I think so. I know he's happy playing it. I know that that the coaching staff loves him being there, and he is a difference maker on defense. So absolutely, I think that.
Well, we're talking about a guy who was an attackman last year.
Yeah, but attack next year is set.
No, but the midi position may need some people in there on the offensive side. He's got a lot of skill.
He's a fantastic player. Had a great game. Shumway's had a great game. We're going to take a break here for just a minute. We've got 2 minutes left in this one. BYU in a runaway, 13-4. And welcome back here to the campus at Brigham Young University. We've got 2 minutes left in this one, and there's a shot by Connors. Oregon's just going to look to unload as quickly as they can.
And they have the shooters to do it. I just don't know that this is what they want to do. You know, they really should. Oh, what a shot.
Jeez.
Rocket.
That was a beaut. That hit right at the corner, bounced out. Woo.
When you got a ball bouncing back to the midfield line. And there's Kaufman. You can take a look here. Oh, and there's a nice shot there by Shine.
Kikamoto does look good. Man, these score by quarter is amazing. Look at the explosion in the second half from BYU.
Yeah, we had a 2-2 tie at halftime, and BYU has just unloaded in the second half with 5 in the third, 6 here in the fourth. And part of that is due to they put Oregon on the ropes, and then they continued to score goals. Salmon getting it up to Zach Davis. Zach Davis bounces it out of bounds. Minute 13 left here in this game. A lot of players getting some time now for BYU. You've got Checkett's going in, Scott Kelly, Kyle Mogg.
This is the BYU second team who, you know, isn't really that much lower than the first team.
You got Emery out there, 26 Scott Kelly.
Emery's a good kid, out of the same high school as everybody's favorite, Jordan Peele.
You got Russell Michael out there, number 40. You've got a new goalie in there.
It's DJ Sullivan out of a local product out of Timpanogos High School. Coaches are really pleased with his progression the past couple of months.
There's some nice defense there by Kelly. Parker picking it up for Oregon. And the referee pulls the flag with 41 seconds left. Parker with a shot, doesn't get through the defense, and now it's going to go back to Oregon on the man up. So Oregon will likely finish this game man up. 35 seconds left.
Coach what an effort by the Cougars today.
Coach Lamb's going to keep the same group out there, let them get some time. Man down situation.
It's good to see Kyle Mogg get a chance to be on there. I'm coaching at his alma mater this year, Mountain View. Had a nice win today over Pleasant Grove.
Way to pump up your team, Pete.
Yeah, you do it.
I would never do that.
You'd never mention Bountiful on the air?
Oh, did I mention the Bountiful Braves?
No, I don't think you did.
Having a great year so far, the Bountiful Braves.
Charlie, anything you want to say?
Go Leopards. Love that East High.
So they're going to give that to Oregon. BYU players claiming that he was pushed, but that's a hard call. It's almost always going to go
with
to
the
defensive
score,
team.
with the score 13-4, 20 seconds left, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt.
That was a wide shot there by Redelick, number 35 for Oregon.
Oregon just has not been able to find the cage today.
A lot of shots really wide, yeah.
Really, really wide.
There's Kaufman. Barker. Oh, and there's a nice shot there by number 22, Knopp.
That play right there was what I was worried we were going to be seeing all day long. For some reason, it stopped.
Good ball movement here. Good ball movement. They kept it moving around. There's 1 second left. You know, they were able to find, look, there's a screen there. Great play. Good decision by the Oregon coaching staff to put that one in at the end here.
Tough shot to save.
1 second left, and we've got a face-off. And that's the game. And BYU really turning it on in the second half here, something that they are starting to do and have done in the last couple of games. They have really, when they've had an opportunity to take a team and really pour it on, they've been able to do it. They led Colorado College 7-0 last week. They really took it to Florida State and Georgia Tech on their trip to Florida. And there's a team that is moving in the right direction. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to be back with some final stats and comments right after this. Stay with us. Hey, welcome back. We are final here. Here's the final stats. Charlie, anything staring at you there?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm shocked. The way they came out in the second half, I didn't expect it. I really thought we were in for an absolute dogfight here, and they dominated. The Cougars dominated the second half.
Really impressed with the BYU man down unit, only giving up 1 of 11. That is a great job there. 22 saves. That's pretty good. You know, a couple for Kikimoto at the end there, but most of those were Glenn McKechnie, who really had an outstanding game. And BYU, I think the difference in the second half, if you look at the clears, BYU was 9 for 17 coming out of halftime, and they end up 22 for 36. They really did a good job turning that event around and changing the way things go.
Well, with 52 shots, really only getting 5 goals for Oregon, they've got to be disappointed with that effort. But you're going to see them again in the national tournament, and it's going to be a dogfight for both of these teams. We are going to leave you tonight. Our next game is on Wednesday, April 19th, where BYU plays the highly ranked Sonoma State. And we are going to be without our good friend Charlie Freeman on that day. So, Charlie, thank you for your contributions this season. And thanks to Jason Parker in the truck and all of the crew. We appreciate all their help on this beautiful day for lacrosse. For myself and Pete Stevenson, we thank you and we congratulate the BYU Cougars and the Oregon Ducks.